Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Unique times out there, my friends. Unique times for sure. Basically, stock market has reclaimed all of its losses from the year. It's one of those things, and we're going to get to the watch list. Remember, the number one agenda tonight is to talk about the free weekly watch list. You can see that at stocksandtrade.com/watchlist. 4 out of 5 winners, and the only loser I got a good feeling about. So the one loser from the weekend watch list just caught a downgrade today from some clown. You know those memes where like the clown is putting on the makeup in the separate stages. That's the analyst on the stock I'm going to talk about today. But anyway, 4 out of 5 winners, and the 5th one is setting up for the rest of the week. Something I've been talking about over and over and over again is, the prospects for the next golden age. I think that, the economy, and I'll kind of calm down a little bit. I always try and show up fired up, and I love doing these. But, we were on the cusp of just like the greatest explosive economy of all time. And then the coronavirus came along, and it is what it is. And then we went into the shutdown, and things slowed back down. But now everyone's going back to work. Everything's opening back up. People are ready to travel. People are ready to spend. People are ready to build. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the news. I mean, building permits through the roof. Okay, construction. I mean, what I love about how home building, office building, commercial, residential construction, not only is it driving dollars into the economy, it's employing tons and tons of people. That's a huge, huge employment base from all the way from, minimum wage workers, first time job ever, all the way up to skilled tradesmen and foremen and managers and architects and engineers. So what's great about construction is, everyone has the potential to benefit from this building boom, and technology is through the roof. Elon Musk is shooting, a spaceship to put the first commercial manned expedition to outer space. First time that humans have been to outer space in whatever years, a decade or whatever it was, from a U.S. commercial launch. Every day. Now, there's bad stuff out there, I get it, but every day is just a little bit better, and there's just so much pent-up demand. And the way I feel about this is like the virus shutdown. It's like this, I hate to make light of this because if many of you know I'm from Michigan, and we recently had a dam burst, which is terrible. It's in Midland, Michigan. Most of you probably know I'm a big mid-century modern guy. I've got my Herman Miller books, my SRNE books. I'm a huge follower of mid-century modern architecture. Midland, Michigan is actually a center for that, and there was a dam break there. Terrible. So I'm not making light of that, but the point I'm trying to get at is the spending demand, the productivity demand has just been held back by this shutdown, the forced shutdown, and I just think we're ready to rip back. And on that note, before I get to the watch list, an article published today on the Stocks to Trade blog, speaking of RIP, is the, many of you ask me about the dip and rip pattern, because this is something I talk about, probably more times than I care to admit. I talk about the dip and rip pattern almost every morning in Stocks to Trade, I almost screwed up, in the Steady Trade team webinars. So check out this dip and rip link. The team will drop it in all the chat. It really goes into detail. I mean, I think I don't know, I get a little wordy, but probably a couple thousand words, and it really breaks it down with a chart pattern, the details, etc. So if you're on that Instagram live tomorrow and I say, whatever the ticker is, when I say, hey, details, potential dip and rip here. Sorry. I went to YouTube and wasn't muted. Sorry to blow your eardrums out. That being said, if you're on the Instagram live tomorrow, if you're on the Steady Trade team webinars and start talking about dip and rips, this article goes in extreme detail. So that being said, you know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, man, I keep forgetting to turn the webcam on. Every week. Second week in a row, I forgot to turn the webcam on. Here I am ranting and raving, throwing stuff. You know how fired up I am about the second golden age? And I forgot to turn the webcam on again. So, anyway. All right. Stuff to focus on tomorrow. I'm going to give you 2 stocks, 3 stocks. Actually, 1, 2, 4. I'm going to give you 4 stocks to focus on tomorrow. NKLA. Most of you know I'm a huge proponent of electric vehicles. Now, I admit I'm a huge, big-time Elon Musk fanboy. Okay, nobody loves Elon much as I do. I mean, he's changing the world. My man is changing the world. But NKLA also makes a competitor to the Cybertruck. They've got some cool technology. Stock's up 147% at this point at the 8 p.m. NASDAQ close. This is, so, back to that, so I'm segueing in. So back to that dip and rip idea. If NKLA opens weak and then reclaims that 95 or even the $100 level, I know it's higher priced. I get it. But keep an eye on NKLA for that dip and rip tomorrow. SRNE. If you've been on these webinars, you know how much I love SRNE after that week. A couple weeks ago, this traded $1 billion. And I always do the same thing. I do the billion with a B, okay? Not million, billion. Billion shares in a week this thing traded. It's held all of its gains. All of them. I mean, you'll hear these clueless clowns talk about the pullback on SRNE. This is a $2.50 stock a week and a half ago. Where's it at today? $5. This thing's up 100%, trades 1 billion shares. They were on Mad Money with Jim Cramer, CEO. Evidently, it went well. I didn't watch it, okay? I didn't watch the appearance on Mad Money because I don't need to. Here's the thing. When this thing rips through the whole dollar, half dollar on high volume, it's all there. That's what you're looking for. That's a breakout. That's a multi-month breakout, too. Right there at 520. Look at that level back in January. Virus play, billion shares traded in a week, on Mad Money, breaks out again. Keep an eye on this. Last 2 I want you to focus on tomorrow. WLL. This was our main VWAP hold high of day break. Watch on the Steady Trade team. On that note, hit the chat, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube Live. Check out the Steady Trade team. So most of you probably know, you've heard me talk about Stocks Trade Pro a lot. So Stocks Trade Pro, twice daily webinars by me every single day. I never miss a day. I've done over 2,000 2,000 webinars in 4 years. Every day, never missed a day, never called in sick, never was late, ever, ever, ever. But the cool thing is now we've evolved that to the Steady Trade team where I've got Mike Huddy Hudson, well-known short seller. So Huddy's working with me as a mentor. And then we've also got Kim Ann Curtin. Kim Ann Curtin is as legit as they get. Now she's more of a mental coach, emotional coach, mental coach, but she's worked with top hedge fund managers. I mean, she knows some of the biggest names, worked with some of the biggest names. I lured her into helping and working with me on the Steady Trade team because flat out, I'm just a caveman. I'm one of those guys that says, I'm like not trying to put myself on the level of a Jocko Willink, but I'm a lot like Jocko, where I'm like, who cares about your feelings? Who cares about your emotions? Follow the plan. I'm not sure if that was a good Jocko impersonation or not, but that's the cool thing about what we've done, bringing in Huddy, bringing in Kim. You've got this, old gray-haired guy like me, 15 years of day trading. You've with a long bias. You've got Michael Huddy Hudson with a short bias, and which Huddy and I are mostly, price action guys. But then you got Kim coming in on the emotional side of things and the mental side of things, which is huge. I mean, the mental and emotional side of things are maybe one of the biggest things you need to learn in trading, and I learned it the hard way, okay? So that's what I love about the Steady Trade team is shortcutting your path to success, okay? I had to learn the emotional and mental side of things kind of out there in the wilderness on my own, so you don't have to do that. All right, WLL is definitely a dip and rip back over that 450 area. And then OAS played out perfectly. Actually, let me show you I got the drawing from OAS this morning, and then we'll get to the watch list. Too much going on. I mean, there's just too many stocks out there, I tell you. This is one thing I will tell you to all of you. If you're struggling to focus right now, okay? And this was the trade plan on OAS. I drew this at 9:16 a.m. Bring that up, match that up to your chart pattern from today to see what happened. Okay? You can't predict the future. You can't get everyone right. But these patterns repeat, they repeat, they repeat, they repeat. Look at what I drew. I know, and again, you can make fun of my whiteboard drawing if you want. But match this whiteboard drawing up to what happened on OAS into that 9:45 or later dip and rip type idea. Went from 165 to 2+. I mean, 50. You could have made 40, 50, 60 cents a share on a $1 stock. It's not bad. Okay. If you're making 40, 50 cents a share on a $1 stock, do the math. It's not bad. Okay. This stock was 68 cents yesterday. Hit a high of 225 this morning and is in play for tomorrow. All right, time for the watch list. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Nice 15-minute introduction, Tim. So, again, the team will drop the link in to the watch list. It's 100% free. I do it every Sunday. I get up every Sunday morning at 4:30 a.m. to do this watch list. What are you doing? What are you doing at 4:30 a.m. on Sunday morning? Are you putting together a watch list? Are you running the scans? Are you reading the news? Are you looking at the chart patterns? And then ask yourself, hey, am I a consistently profitable trader? Am I sleeping till noon on Sunday? Am I up till 3 a.m. doing who knows what? I always say nothing good happens after 9 p.m. But again, but seriously, I mean, I'm having a little bit of fun, but if you're not consistently profitable, if you're losing like crazy, what time are you getting up on Sunday morning? And what are you doing on Sunday morning? Are you watching SpongeBob? Are you watching webinars? Are you reading books? I'm in the middle of like 4 different trading books. Anyway, sorry, I got a little dark there. Sign up for the watch list. Let's get to work. So apps. This is a ticker we've followed for years and years. This has been one of my favorites. Hot, cool technology. They were in earnings last week. They broke out over 10. We talked about that, broke out almost to 10 on Friday. We talked about that $10 break this morning. You can see classic pattern we look for. This opened sideways, dipped under VWAP, reclaimed VWAP into that 10, 11 a.m. window, broke the high of the day, never violated VWAP from there, and, closed 2 cents off the high of the day. And low risk trade, low volatility. If you're new or part-time, you didn't get spooked out of the stock. It just slowly trended higher all day. And probably gaps up tomorrow. I mean, markets are strong. You can agree, you can choose to agree or disagree with my golden age comments. I don't care. You can agree with me that we're on the cusp of the greatest economic boom in history, or you can be like, oh, whatever, and miss all these opportunities. Again, it's your call. It's like getting up early on Sunday morning. It's your call. At the end of the day, it's you versus the man in the mirror. And I can sit here and yell and tell you to do all these things and look at these patterns and look at this news and look for the float and look for the volume and all these patterns, and it's on you, man. It's all on you. That being said, apps, I expect a gap up and a push higher next week. The one loser from this weekend was PENN National. Most of you know how much I love Dave Portnoy. Google Dave Portnoy, successful entrepreneur. He's taking his shots at day trading, and he's having fun, and he's entertaining. Especially, I tell you what, if you're looking for some entertainment from the trading perspective, check out Dave Portnoy. Still love this stock with sports opening up. So PENN is a casino operator, and then they bought Barstool, which Barstool focuses on a lot of the sports aspect of things, particularly gambling. And PENN caught a downgrade today. Again, check out Dave Portnoy's Instagram or Twitter, and he goes off on Carlo Santarelli. Whoops, let me... you can't see it because of the webcam. Actually, let me minimize this. You can see that old Carlo Santarelli at Deutsche Bank put a sell rating and downgraded PENN, and I think that's the only reason it was red today. I expect a red to green tomorrow. Look for any red to greens tomorrow. PENN, I think you're going to see new highs, especially once sports and gambling really open back up. So PENN is the one loser, but it's just because some analyst downgraded. Snapchat closed at the high of the day. Nice slow trender. Closed at the 52-week highs. I said on the watch list, in today's world, for good or bad, social media is just going to continue to grow more and more, especially media like Snapchat, which is instant. Between people trapped at home looking to consume content and the eventual reopening in the world, I think people are going to be looking to share even more than they were before the stay-at-home order. Huge trending stock and a great breakout this past week on Snapchat. Red to greens tomorrow if you didn't take it today. I expect new highs this week or next. Fastenal, speaking of my opening with construction, if I could type, slow mover, really slow mover stock. But again, if I know I say and again a lot, but if you're a part-time trader or a risk-averse trader, okay, if maybe you're retired and you don't want to trade crazy penny stocks, Fastenal was a nice trender today, held on to green. I could see this thing just gradually incrementing a couple % a day. And in the grand scheme of things, if you're making 1 or 2% a day, I mean, how many have 401ks or IRAs that make you a couple percent every day? You know, Google compounding returns. You know, I mean, there's a lot of IRAs, a lot of 401ks that are putting in single-digit returns over the entire year. So, love fast and all with everyone going back to work and the construction industry. And then the last, I saved the best for last. Ooh, what do we got here? What do we got here? Do we have a low float stock with news, multiple dilutions, and heavily shorted? Quite possibly. And a dip and rip pattern. By the way, actually, to the team, drop that link to that dip and rip blog post in the chats again, please. And I'm telling you, this isn't revisionist history, okay? DGLY, police body cams, I call this a hot sector. Stock did multiple dilutions over the last couple of days. What does that do? It lures in uninformed newbie short sellers, which become the fuel for the dip and rip, okay? So what we're looking for, and again, read that blog post, what that dip and rip pattern does is it when it gaps up in pre-market, like DGLY did at 4 a.m. and again at 7:30 a.m., then you get that pull into the close or into the open, sorry, and you can see that it starts pulling. Shorts start adding because they're, number one rule of low price short sellers is they do the exact opposite of what you should be doing. One of my favorite sayings in trading is, and I think I made this up, but I might have stole it. I don't know. Losers add to losers. Winners add to winners. Write that down. Losers add to losers. Winners add to winners. So the key component, the jet fuel on the fire of the dip and rip pattern is that weak open. Because now everyone's bagged from last week. I mean, nobody is green on a short from Friday when the stock was in the high twos and it gaps up to, $4. It's nobody can be green on that short. So they're all breaking the cardinal rule of adding to a loser into that weak open. Then, when the stock breaks the high of day, they all panic. You get the squeeze. And DGLY, I admit, was a little choppy this afternoon, but closed above 5, squeezed $1 plus share higher in after hours. This pattern repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats. All of the components of that short squeeze, that dip and rip type idea, were in DGLY. And if you're under the PDT, if you've got limitations to how often you can trade, this is the number one setup you should be looking for. And I know it was choppy this afternoon. I admit. I'm not saying this was perfect. It did dip below VWAP a little after 11 a.m. Not perfect. But if you were position sized appropriately, if you didn't have too much of size, you let it chop around midday, you were rewarded. These patterns repeat. You can consistently profit in the stock market if you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the effort, you put in the discipline, you focus. Get rid of all the BS in your life, all right? No watching the Kardashians, no staying up late, no junk food, no, just if you want to be successful, you can well, I was going to say you can win the lottery, but it's very disputable. I mean, nobody that wins the lottery is happy, okay? That to me, that's not successful. Winning the lottery is not successful. You got money, but that's not successful. So I was going to say you could either win the lottery or you could put in the time, the effort, the work, the discipline that's necessary. But forget the lottery. Forget inheriting the money. If it's given to you, you're not going to be happy. You're probably going to be a alcoholic, screaming at the TV or something. You're like Archie Bunker, okay? So your only option for true happiness, for true wealth, is to earn it. And if you put in the time to watch these webinars, to read those blog posts, to listen to podcasts, to get on the Instagram lives, I go live every single day on the Stocks to Trade Instagram to try and break down these things, to give you the insight. I started my day today at 4:30 Eastern. You guys know what time it is right now? It's 8:30 Eastern. 16 hours. A lot of people say, oh, I work 16-hour days. I work 20-hour days. But if you were at the Steady Trade team, I was in chat at like 5:30 a.m. after I, worked out and got breakfast. But I was still up at 4:30. And here I am at 8:30. It ain't easy. But I don't think anything's more rewarding. So, all right, let's get to some Q&A. Hi Tim. I have my trade plan, but FOMO, maybe trade it before I hit my plan. I cut my loss and it turned out as planned. Any tips and tricks to be disciplined and patient to follow your trade plan? You just gotta say, right or wrong. Great question, by the way. You just gotta be willing to say, if I miss this trade, I miss this trade. And I'm telling you guys, and I go on these rants so many times on these webinars. I am telling you, this is the most unique, amazing market I have seen in 15 years. Don't have FOMO. This is like the worst time to be like, oh, I got to get in this stock. I might miss it. We go 5 minutes without a runner. It is just such a different time. So please, if the stock doesn't fit your plan, just avoid it. Avoid it. And wait for the next one. I call it the bus station analogy. So work on your discipline, work on sticking to your plan. Something I did for years is I would write my plan on index cards. I don't think you guys can see my keyboard. So what I would do, I'd write, and these are on my Instagram from 6 years ago. I would write my trade plan on an index card, and then I would stick it in the numlock keys on the top of my keyboard, and I would stare at it. And I know that's kind of a, again, I'm a borderline caveman, but I think it works. When you write things down and you're staring at it, I think it will help. Does Huddy teach too? Yes. So part of the Stocks to Trade team is Huddy helps me out with webinars as well. It's, again, I'm very bullish right now. Okay. I was a short seller for 7, 8, 9 years. I'm crazy bullish now. But Huddy helps out, and he's predominantly a short seller. So check out the Steady Trade team. Oil and pot stocks. What about them? Love oil, hate pot stocks. Avoid pot stocks like the plague. Can you show us how you build the watch list and what you do, like Fibonacci's, moving averages, etc.? Marcelo, great question, Marcelo. What I would tell you is, I don't have time tonight, but go to stockstotrade.com/free-webinar. Okay? Now, I know you're going to look at the webinar, and it's going to be a webinar with Tim Sykes and I from a couple weeks ago. But if you sign up at, again, the team will drop it in chat, stocksandtrade.com/free-webinar. Sign up there, and I do exactly that. I do 1-hour webinars where I build watch lists. And if you want, you can watch the webinar with Sykes and I. It was a fun one. So, must-read books related to trading. Oh, I get asked this every week. Best I can tell you is, and let me see if this works. I got links for you. I always got links, my friends. Steady Trade Book Club. Yes, there you go. Google Steady Trade Book Club. It's the podcast. We've probably gone over, I don't even know, 20 books or more. So something I love to do and it's free. Podcast is free. You can either Google Steady Trade Book Club, or I'm sure the team will drop the link in chat, and we go over all kinds of books. So, last question, DGLY was a great win. Love it. But it doesn't make sense to enter DGLY dip and rip after 1040. Yes, I think so. Because of the volume. I mean, nanification, why would I say it makes sense to enter the dip and rip later? I mean, the volume is DGLY had 2.8 million shares average traded 100 plus today. When you got that kind of float rotation, okay, when you got that kind of unusual volume, the dip and rip is in play all day. So great question, nanification. Volume is what tells you if the volume stays, if the volume is there, if it's trading, today was the second highest volume in a year. That's your confirmation that you can trade the dip and rip all day. Last question. Is Hertz a ticking time bomb? Yes, it is. Day trade Hertz all day long, okay? Trade dip and rips, trade late day VWAP holds, do whatever you want with Hertz. But I will leave you with this. Please, 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 please don't swing trade Hertz, long or short, okay? This thing's in full squeeze mode, but bad news is probably due any day. This is something that, again, check out Instagram.com/stocks-to-trade. I go live every morning at 8:30. I talk about this a lot. There's a difference between day trade only stocks and swing trade overnight type stocks. Man, nail Hertz all you want. In and out, in and out, in and out. Trade it 100 times a day if you want, as long as you have a plan. But do not, please, I'm telling you, long or short, don't overnight Hertz. All right, guys, good stuff tonight. Check out all those links. Check out the watch list. Check out the podcast. Check out Instagram live every day. Be sure to share this with your friends. Ring the bell if you're on YouTube. I'm here every Monday night at 8 a.m. Eastern. 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Hell, I don't know. I'm probably here at 8 a.m. too. So I'll be in chat tomorrow morning. So in closing, we live in the greatest time in history, my friends. You have unlimited access to information. You have unlimited potential. I mean, seriously. I know, okay, when I grew up, I'm 47 years old. When I grew up, people said you could do anything. Okay? When I was, 6 years old in 1980, people, parents, teachers would say you could do anything, Tim. It was a lie. It was a lie. They meant well. They meant well. It's not like adults. It's not like teachers, guidance counselors. They weren't lying to me. But it wasn't possible in 1980 to do anything. To achieve your dreams with a freaking iPhone and a trading app or a computer. I'm telling you, in 2020, you can do anything. There are zero roadblocks to success. You can accomplish everything you set out to do if you're determined, if you put in the time, and you put in the effort, especially in stock trading. So I didn't believe it 40 years ago in 1980. As a 6-year-old, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Hey, Timmy, you can be president. Whatever. But in 2020, I don't care if you're 5 years old, 15 years old, 25, 30, 50, or 80. The market is insane. We get 10 solid patterns a day, consistently repeatable patterns, high volume stocks that are liquid, that you can trade from commission-free brokers. You know what we didn't have in 1980? Commission-free brokers. Supercomputers in your pocket with apps that were connected from anywhere. Wireless. Don't look back on the greatest time in human history and say, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. Now is the time. Have a great night, my friends. Would love to see you on the Steady Trade team. If not, I'll see you on Instagram Live. If not, I'll see you on a blog post or on a podcast or next Monday night at 8 a.m. Eastern. Or 8 p.m. I think I need to set my goal to be understanding the difference between AM and PM. All right. Have a great night, my friends. We'll see you next time.